Hello, I'm going to do a quick video on pediments. Now, what they are is this triangular facade that you'll see so often. Now, this is Brisbane City Hall here in Australia, and we'll just quickly go through before I go. Okay, this is the Kentucky State Capitol. Again, now these figures, we'll go through those, but again, these same themes and stories which connect to astronomy, especially, but ancient legends and hidden in plain sight. So you'll often, if you go to the official documents, they'll describe certain features. So, for instance, the horse or the bull, they'll say, well, it's a symbol of agriculture and our... Well, it sort of is, but it really isn't. It goes back much further, and as we'll see the same themes going and repeated again. This is... where are we here? I'm pretty sure that's... oh, God. Manitoba Legislative Building in Winnipeg in Canada. But okay, before we go to there, here's another example. Again, Manitoba. It's Singapore Supreme Court, the old Supreme Court building. This is a drawing of the Temple of Athena. Reconstruction of the Parthenon in Tennessee, and again you'll see this. So this is one side, but we'll have a look also at the other side, because again, Parthenon you can just sort of search. Okay, that's again the recreation there. But Waranda Park in Brussels in Belgium, and they have the same thing going on throughout. So back to Brisbane. So what you have is this central figure, which is usually always Athena. And so there, well, Athena, and these rays, these sun rays behind symbolize Apollo. The bull, which is a constant theme, that's Zeus. Even Zeus turned into a bull in the story of Europa. And there's also cornucopia, like the horn of plenty. So you'll often see where you have like lots of fruits and grain and these type of elements, and again telling the same story. So back to Kentucky, I might notice a swastika there, and well, we have a horse, but we have the bull. So the bull is Zeus. Here we have Athena, and the laurel behind there is now pardon, I wish I had a higher res, but the laurel again, golden age of Apollo. That's a strong symbol of Apollo there, and the cornucopia, the horn of plenty. Where you see this like a bullhorn, and it's overflowing with fruit and vegetables and grain. Now, what does a horse mean? Well, the horse has actually got to do with Poseidon or Neptune, and we'll show that in a moment. But so the bull is Zeus. We have Athena, goddess of wisdom. Zeus, the cornucopia, which is a connection to Demeter, the god of and Ceres, like as in cereal. With grain, for instance. And so, okay, back to Winnipeg. So Athena, sun rays of Apollo. I've got a better picture, will come up in a moment. But again, now we have Demeter and Aristaeus. Aristaeus was the god of beekeeping, cheese making, these type of things, and we have Demeter, the goddess of agriculture. So as where Demeter is the goddess of of the raw grain, so to speak, Aristaeus is the god of more advanced, not advanced farming, production. So he's the one who, cheese, honey, animal husbandry, these type of things. So the bull of Zeus, Athena, sun rays of Apollo, Demeter, and Aristaeus, and the horses, once again, that's a symbol of Neptune. And I've got a better picture coming for a moment, but you can even see the trident of Poseidon, Neptune, and pretty sure it's in here. Again, cornucopia. Okay, so there's a higher res picture. Now, yeah, immediately, so that's Amphitrite and Poseidon or Neptune. And he's connected with the horses because, okay, we'll have a look at that in a moment, but Europa and Zeus, you can just look up that for more information. Athena, goddess of wisdom and of defensive military arts. Unlike Mars, who was an offensive military god, Athena was the goddess of defensive military arts. The stories, for instance, Solon and other people who talk about the legend of Atlantis. The Atlanteans invaded Greece. So the Solon's ancestors visited Egypt. The Egyptians said, "You're ignorant of your own history." The ancient Greek hoplite warriors, that's like if you've seen the movie Sparta, the guys with the helmet, the shield, and the ankle calf protectors. That's your traditional hoplite warrior, and they defeated the Athenians. If I've seen the Athenians, as they're described, are not nice, pleasant people. That's just not that doesn't match with any of the older legends in there. But so Zeus, Europa, Athena. Okay, we have like Demeter, the goddess, or Ceres, as it's also called, as in cereal. And you can see again she's presenting cereal, and then we have Aristaeus. Okay, and Hippocampus drawing Poseidon's chariot. So we'll see that in a moment. Poseidon's chariot is drawn by the water horses, and there's also and Delphinus, the dolphins, would ride in front. But where? Okay, so again, Aristaeus. Amphitrite was the wife of Poseidon / Neptune. She didn't agree to marry him at first. She ran off to the mountains, and then the dolphin Delphinus, which looks very fish-like, was actually a dolphin in the legend. The dolphin convinced her to return to Poseidon. Apollo sunrays. So this is all from the Winnipeg building. Now, okay, we have a similar thing, but they're not quite as clear there. That's again Winnipeg, but okay, so you'll see these pictures of Neptune or Poseidon. The trident of Poseidon, his chariot, his horse, his chariot is being drawn by the hippocampus, or water horses, and then we have Delphinus, these fish with dolphins, but they look very monstrously fishy in most depictions, as in the constellation Delphinus. And constellational symbols, yeah, all over the joint. You can connect this to a whole set, especially in the northern hemisphere. Now, one that bothered me was I couldn't quite get this one, but that seems to be the Egyptian Epsilon battle axe. So if you've seen those Egyptian swords, they're sort of straight and they've got the curve. That was for the riches, but the average warrior would have the Epsilon, very much like the symbol Epsilon, probably obviously where the name come from, but this is a ancient Egyptian battle axe, more for your standard troops. Again, yeah, hippocampus. So the horse are actually symbols of Neptune and Poseidon. So there you see Delphinus. I mentioned the Delphinus, the fish, the dolphin who would ride in front of Poseidon's chariot. Well, you have Aquilius and Pegasus as well, which connect straight to Perseus. The story of Perseus actually is a map of northern hemisphere constellations. And that's the Delphinus is the dolphin, and that's the dolphin as in the story described of Poseidon and his proposal to his wife. Inside even the Winnipeg, Manitoba Legislative Building in Winnipeg, you see this scrolling, see how it resembles Delphinus. So these same symbols are repeated constantly. Singapore building. Now again, another theme that will come back. So there we have, I now forget the name of these things. When you see these like little supports coming out, but anyway, that's a canvas sphere as well, which will be so often connected to another symbol. These are okay. Back to Tennessee and the Parthenon reconstruction. This is a pediment on one side. What do you have? Griffins, which again are connected. Swastika, canvas, griffins all go together. But we also have Hermes as well. So these Greek gods will be in these buildings. So that's the other side of in Tennessee, the Parthenon reconstruction. They have depalement. I just recently did a video on that and how that's connected to the Egyptian seasons and the flooding of the Nile. Also connected to Venus, Ceres as well. But so if we go there, so we Perseus, Hermes, the lever. That's again now Athena, Zeus. Instead of being represented as a bull, that's just Zeus there now again. And Athena, the goddess of defensive warfare. And what do we have on this side? The trident of Neptune, Poseidon. There's just another example of it. Now even the scroll work there, bit of Delphinus going on. This is where, again, back to Oranda Park in Brussels in Belgium. Again, so the sun rays of Apollo. You'll see it's slightly stylized differently. Athena with the fasces at her feet. Now, the earlier one, okay, so there's bundle of sticks wound about a axe was a symbol of Roman power and law. But there's, again, so the bull was earlier, but now we see Zeus literally carrying the lightning rod. She's carrying, Athena has the scales and the rod, weights and measure, symbolism again, symbols of power, just like the fasces. And where else more we got? There's more here. So back to Brisbane. Okay, so we saw earlier the cornucopia, but it's not the highest resolution, but it's all fruit and grains there. The horse, now the horse would be said to, if you read the standard literature attached to these buildings, will say that the horse is like a symbol of settlement and stuff. Well, and so for instance, we've got a kangaroo over there to make it very Aussie, but the bull is Zeus and the horse is Neptune. It just is. It's the same thing repeated all over the place. Palmet again. Which is again connected to the ancient hieroglyph archet. Now, inside the building, you'll find the swastika in the tiling. On the outside, acanthus, Corinthian columns, acanthus there, corbel. That's what they're called. These things are called corbels. The fruit, and the bull, and it's just interesting. This is part of it goes all around. Okay, what do we have? Swastikas, Athena. So you'll see that these things are slightly... so they're not just copying the Parthenon or some temple directly, but they keep the same themes going. The horse, the bull, the cornucopia, Athena, Apollo, sometimes in the sun rays, sometimes in the laurel, as in the golden age of Apollo. And it'll be slightly stylized and described in different ways, but it's always, again, so back to Winnipeg, the bull, the horse, Neptune, Athena, and again she's got so this time the fasces, the axe about the bundle of sticks. So anyway, that's just trying to do it. Well, laurels, that's what do you got up, another Apollonian symbol. So if you see like these triangular facades that are in front of these buildings, they won't always be the same. Again, the lyre or the harp, again, it's just always the same. Athena's there in the middle, the sword, and so there'll be slight variations. Well, the Corinthian columns, so that's again, that's acanthus for you. Yeah. So this is the older. When I say Masonic, I mean Masons, not modern Freemasons. The older Mason tradition was told more in the Hellenistic style of the Greek gods. Over the last few centuries, it's moved over to more Bible-based rituals and stories and the rites as you go through. But still, the old Hellenistic gods, it's still embedded all over the joint. Now, this was in Singapore, but this was under British control. Well, okay, Medusa. Athena on the shield of Medusa. Just the previous video I just did about... the rod of Asclepius as well, and also Medusa and Perseus. I've done in earlier videos how it's there's so many layers, beautiful knowledge connected to all these things. Unfortunately, like Canthus, the scales, so the scales of justice or the rule of law, Athena, weights and measures, all these things blend into one another and connect to one another. So many levels of information and knowledge, and unfortunately, there's this, if you ever talk about, again, the bull, well, there's the snake as well. So again, and the Medusa symbol. It's just very, very unfortunate that there's a tendency on the internet that immediately say this is diabolical, satanic, or whatever. Well, again, there's knowledge there, and anyone who would. Okay, I won't go into that rant, but yeah, it's just a thing, especially on the internet now, to target certain groups and say they're immediately all evil and evil, evil this, evil that. Well, there's some more nice little symbols for you there. Hidden in plain sight, beautiful knowledge, connected to not only symbols of weights and measures, but the architecture of these buildings will always incorporate beautiful numbers as well. So anyway, cheerio and have a good one.